Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy Indiana Jones with another for entertainment purposes only video. Remember, guys, these videos are up to y'all to decide whether y'all should believe them or not. Today's title is disturbing videos that will stick with you forever.
Video is going massive right now, and what it shows is actually really weird. Montez Ford is a wrestler for the WWE. During this match, he appears to completely freeze up in front of his cameraman. The video was caught from multiple angles, and I'm gonna show you guys both.
Outside the pavilion, exclusive items and so much more, all at the Rec Room in downtown Toronto, open through Sunday.
Montez Ford, I don't know him. But WWE is fake, so he's trolling.
Everybody around him is trying to snap him out of it at this point, but he doesn't budge. People are saying that this is proof that he's some sort of robot or a clone or synthetic human.
Somebody caught that?
I myself have made multiple videos on events like this, including the time everybody saw Shaq completely freeze up on live TV. Although I love conspiracy theories, I don't know if this is something that is legitimately happening or if it's just celebrities keen on the fact that they'll go massively viral if they play this.
That goes to show that these clones, that clone theory, I don't know if y'all heard it before. It goes to show that it's real, you know. Celebrities, stars, and the biggest industries tend to, like, behind the scenes, you know, like they say, behind the curtain, they killed the real person and just make clones out of them. That dude was probably a clone if he was really acting like that. Like, it looked like to me he wasn't even breathing. Like, you couldn't tell, like, his body was not moving at all.
If I told you anxiety doesn't exist? It doesn't exist. Do you know what there are only 4 basic human emotions? Anxiety is not one of them. Do you know what the 4 basic human emotions are? Mad, sad, glad, and scared. All other emotions are a volume knob on one of those 2. Right? Everything. So really, for you, long term, one of the things that's going to help you is figuring out what is driving this anxiety state. Want a little hint? It's fear. Scared.
Hey, go watch Inside Out 1 and 2, guys, if y'all don't know what he's talking about. Inside Out 2 had me tripping. You know, I watched it with my baby girl Mia. That, man, it's really good.
Rescuers found the crew scattered across the deck, frozen in terror, mouths open, eyes wide, and their bodies contorted as if witnessing something horrifying. There were no signs of injury or struggle, but something had clearly gone terribly wrong. Earlier, a haunting SOS message had been received, ending with a simple, "I die." Right as they were about to tow the ship, a fire erupted from the cargo hold, and they were forced to evacuate. They barely escaped before the ship exploded and sank, taking the evidence with it and leaving us with a dark, unsolved mystery.
Thank you, Bino, for the video.
I woke up this morning and I saw this tweet. And I thought, yeah, this is actually true.
They did?
The drink was popular in Nigeria, Mali, and all throughout North Africa, and it was known as kunuaya. It was introduced to Mexico because of Spanish and Portuguese traders. But it's not just horchata that's quintessentially African in Latin America. Tamarind, that's used in tamarindo, in popular drinks throughout South America and the Caribbean, comes from the tamarind plant that's native to West Africa. Jamaica, that's used in agua de Jamaica, is also from a plant that's native to West Africa. Dominican mango, Puerto Rican mofongo are all derivatives of the word mangusi, which is a Congolese word which means to mash which is exactly what's being done in the preparation of this food. The concept of sancocho, taking meats from several different animals and stewing them and adding a thickener along with vegetables, was first discovered on islands off the coast of West Africa. This dish is now one of the most popular dishes in Colombia, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic. The idea of using plantains as a starch to make food like pasteles goes back to the African tradition of using them for the same thing, along with cassava and yuca. People would like to have us think that we're so far removed from our African roots, but we're really not.
Look at the interview with John McAfee a couple years before he died, where he said,
I donated to many secretaries within the government laptop computers, really nice ones that were preloaded with viral spyware. Within a week, the entire government computer system was under my control. I was watching, monitoring, listening. I was looking for information that they had set me up for that raid. I didn't find it. I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. The Minister of Immigration, the largest human.
you don't think people out here playing chess, bro? You must be delusional.
In Victoria's Secretness? Victoria's Secret? Have you asked where you buy your drawers? Why is it a secret? You should ask that before you go back. Huh? It's a secret because Queen Victoria was a man. How many of y'all knew that? Okay? That's why it's secret. If I'm a man posing as a queen, I got to wear women's drawers. That's what the secret is about. And you older folks, you remember that King Cole? Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. Do you know they just found out 15 years ago that was Da Vinci? He was a drag queen. How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew that? Huh? I don't see. Yeah, you knew it, huh? See that? He was a drag queen. And Nat Cole didn't know he's singing.
Because I don't know how many people are aware of this. I've seen videos, but decided to make my own. Because I want you to see it for yourself. You see that? I'm gonna put in one finger. Trisodium phosphate. I'm gonna go to Home Depot now.
Huh. I already knew where he was going.
And we're gonna see what that crap. Fucking. Here we are. This is it, guys.
That's crazy.
Trisodium phosphate. They even have the phosphate-free version because it must be so toxic to clean with it. These are floor cleaners.
Food does not need a label. It's only if they did something to it that it needs a label.
Ooh.
So you have to look at every label as a warning label. Now, the problem with the label is it only tells you what's in the food. What you really need to know is what's been done to the food, because it's the ultra-processed food that's the problem. They don't want to tell you that. That's secret. Okay, secret from a proprietary standpoint, but also secret because if you knew what they did to it, you wouldn't eat it. You would never buy it. And they don't want you to know. So they only tell you what's in the food. That's not what's important. It's what's been done to the food that's important. And that's why this Nobel Class 4 is so important, and that's why Perfect is so important, because it'll do the work.
I'm curious on how many cereal boxes come with trisodium phosphate. I'm gonna have to start looking at the ingredients more often.
If zero is nothing. Well, it's not something that you have. Zero represents a state of nothingness. What does that mean? It's nothingness, the absence of somethingness. Trust me, zero is a thing. But you just said it's a nothing. I did. Which is it? A something or a nothing? We have a problem.
What?
Zero might not exist.
Of course, zero exists.
Great, then explain it to me.
Easy. Zero is nothing.
But how can nothing be a thing?
Think of it this way. Picture an empty box.
All right.
What's in the box? Nothing.
It's not nothing. Air, atoms, molecules, that empty box is as full can be.
Regardless, zero is very important.
I'm not saying it isn't important. I'm just saying the little round guy ain't real.
You're being silly. Zero is a number like every other number.
Yeah? Can you divide with it?
Well, no.
In fact, the Greek philosopher Parmenides said nothing cannot exist because to speak of something is to speak of something that exists.
Well, I suppose
My
you
brain
could look at it
hurts.
that way.
Dr. Sturgis, zero.
Have some real food.
And a shaft that you rotate. So, I mean, like on the space station, how many of these would you have?
7, because we have 7 windows.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak.
You just have a leak.
And what you would do is...
lose air.
Yeah, you would probably seal the whole cupola off. And then
There's probably a plan, I don't know off the top of my head, but there's probably a plan for replacing the mechanism. Might require a spacewalk.
So my question is, how can you operate a lid on the outside of the space station by manipulating something mechanical on the inside of the space station without losing air pressure?
Right.
It's called real good engineering.
Of what the mission goals are for your time on orbit and what responsibilities and jobs are going to be yours when you're up there.
Well, I'm one of the science guys and I'm one of the repair guys. And fortunately, there's lots of science and lots of repair to do on station, so that will certainly... I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process.
I just can't believe people actually believed them to begin with, especially in the 90s.
To question whether a corporation would poison us for profit. Eggs became heart disease cholesterol bombs, and Honey Nut Cheerios got labeled heart healthy. The default human condition in the 21st century is obese by design. Specific, traceable forms of what's referred to as structural violence are created by the catastrophic quartet of big farming, big food, big pharma, and big insurance.
If you learned anything, the government is keeping you sick. If you think of their food pyramid, it's a diabetic.
Lucky Charms are healthier than a fried egg. Did you see that?
It's a diabetic pyramid. 50% of people in the United States are diabetic or pre-diabetic. You need to get rid of the simple carbs. They did a study at the Mayo Clinic, and they looked at people at a fat-based diet. Fish, avocados, nuts and seeds, healthy oils. 42% less risk of getting Alzheimer's disease. Think about that. People had a protein-based diet, so if you think of the caveman diet, 21% less risk of getting Alzheimer's disease. But people who were on the standard American diet, bread, pasta, potatoes, rice, fruit juice, sugar, had a 400% increased risk of getting Alzheimer's disease. It's the food.
They need to find out what companies are making these foods to go inside these vendors. You know, I'm always seeing videos of these ingredients and what's inside them that is so bad and stuff, but I mean, what dairy farms are they coming from, or you know, if it's a building that's making them, whatever, they need to find the source.
Is now online.
What is that?
Gifyon is going to be a factory of intelligence. And this factory of intelligence is a new industry that never existed before. It sits on top of the IT industry. We're inventing something fundamentally new.
How ironic that just days before the Terminator's 30th anniversary, NVIDIA founder and CEO Jensen Huang, along with the King of Denmark, launched the country's largest AI supercomputer.
The CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Skynet, Gephion, aims to drive breakthroughs in quantum computing, clean energy, biotechnology, and other areas that benefit both Danish society and the world. Yeah, right. I've heard that before.
In a few months, he creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor.
Go on. Then what?
In 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems. All stealth bombers are upgraded with Cyberdyne computers, becoming fully unmanned. Afterwards, they fly with a perfect operational record. The Skynet funding bill is passed. The system goes online on August 4th, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th.
Thank you, Jay, for the video.
Hollyweird is at it again, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. I want y'all to look at this picture and think about what you see. What if I were to tell you this is not a picture of an evil spirit? It's actually a picture of a popular celebrity we know today. Let's get into it. But before we do, I want you to watch this.
Oh, that's who cloned Tyrone. When they were showing what music does, like the frequency. If y'all still haven't watched that, go check that movie out. They said a lot.
That is from a popular movie called They Clone Tyrone on Netflix. Disclaimer, for the sake of TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Because I know how y'all like to tussle a lot. That movie's basically about a dealer that ends up getting unalived one day and wakes up fine. And this happens multiple times until he realizes that he's literally being cloned by the government. One day they find this mysterious door and go through it and see this whole organization inside of it where they are literally imprisoning people and controlling them. And that scene that I just showed you is them clearly putting in our faces how powerful music is. You guys have to remember that Lucifer, aka the devil, was the angel of music in heaven. And he has immense pull in the music industry to try to mess with the subconscious of as many people as he can before his time is up. I want y'all to just think about this for a second. Look at the difference in brain function when music is being listened to versus when it's not. You know that saying where it says, oh, this song itched my brain? That's because it's really itching your brain. Like, we have to be careful what we let into our subconscious. This stuff is deeper than a lot of us want to admit. Just think about when you sit down and you watch TV. Literally, it's in the name. Television. It's telling you a vision. And where do we watch stuff on? Channels. They are channeling your subconscious. And what are all the channels called? Programming. Guys, they're literally telling us. They're telling us. I mean, let's just think about the word Hollywood. Did you guys know that in ancient ritual, they would use something called the holly tree to cast spells and make things like wands and talismans? Are we gonna ignore that quote unquote coincidence? But let's forget about that for a second. Let's go back to the music. This right here is Rihanna. And it's literally from her popular song called Umbrella, which, might I add, is a song directly made for Rain Man. If you don't know who Rain Man is, that's the devil. And you can hear multiple singers / musicians referencing him in their songs. Let's take a look at just a few. This is from Eminem's song that's actually called Rain Man. Cause I ain't got no legs or no brain. Nice to meet you. Hi, my name is, I forgot my name. My aim was not to become what I came with this level of fame. My soul is possessed by this devil. My new name is Rain Man? Yo, there ain't no way that you're not seeing this. Let me show you another instance. We're just focusing on Eminem right now because like he is the most obvious one at this point. This is from his popular song, My Darling. If you have not heard My Darling, don't listen to it at night is all I can tell you. Y'all can pause to read this, but this is literally him conversating with the devil about how he wants to unalive himself and unalive the devil, but he couldn't kill his spirit if he tried to, and how he'll never escape, and because he sold his soul and got that fame, it's over for him. Now, getting back to the song Umbrella, have y'all noticed that there are so many songs in the industry dedicated to water? For example, Tyla's Water song that popped off for absolutely no reason. Yeah, the dance is nice, but the song is so basic. Want to know why? Because they're trying to program us, guys. You can't tell me that there isn't a clear comparison to Baphomet, which is the devil. Now let's take a look at J. Cole's song She Knows. In his song, he references 3 celebrities that unfortunately lost their lives, and the connection between the 3 is every single one of them attempted to expose Hollywood right before they were coincidentally taken out. But y'all gotta have your eyes.
Man, she did her fact check.
Why are all of them unalived on the same day? The 25th. Why are so many big time celebrities born on the 4th? Y'all know that angel number 444? That literally means a higher power is watching over me. I don't believe in angel numbers. You wanna know why? Because that comes from the enemy, period. Anytime y'all see them say, oh, I want to thank God in those speeches, they're not talking about our God. They're talking about the other one, their God, the devil. Are we not going to talk about how almost every single celebrity that rises to fame has some family member that's close to them get unalived? It's called sacrifice, y'all. And remember, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. And are we not going to talk about the fact that in She Knows, he says bad things happen to the people you love, and you find yourself praying up to heaven above, but honestly, I never had that much sympathy, because those bad things, I always saw them coming for me. And She Knows, Sean Knowles, Jay-Z's first name, Beyonce's last name. And just to show y'all how much the Hollywood hates Jesus, I bet y'all never heard this part of Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z. And Jesus can't save you, life starts where the church ends. At the end of the day, y'all, nothing is a coincidence.
Ain't lying.
I know this is going to go over so many people's heads, because at the end of the day...
What's wrong with this?
She was spitting right there. All her facts and everything were lined up. I'm about to review everything she just said, but man, it all made sense. There's no telling how many other celebrities have done that. Alright guys, that's the video. If y'all enjoyed this video, please leave your like and thoughts and comments down below. Until then, it's your boy Indiana Jones, another discovery.